considering that we all take our professional lives pretty seriously and they mean a lot to us, I feel like there's one question that, I don't really think that we all answer in that much of a positive way. And that question is, it's a question that you all would have got a lot in your lives. Okay, so are you ready? How was your day today? So I just feel a little bit of that, I mean, we've got all sorts of reactions to that in the courses of our lives, but I think that really does sum up something that we should really work towards achieving positive results for. How was your day can translate over to how was your week, how was your month, how was your year, how was your entire professional career. So I think it's something that we should really think about mastering. Now, I think, there is good news here too. I feel like the answer is to inject some creativity, more creativity into our professional lives. And I'm not talking about art. There's nothing on those pages, right? There's a little bit. But I have to tell you this, creativity isn't reserved for art. Creativity is for everybody. And the way that I feel about creativity is this, it's not just about ideas. I mean, we all have ideas every day, right? I had an idea to wear a blue shirt. It was a pretty good idea. But I have to tell you that it wasn't a life-changing idea for really anybody. What's important is the ability to be able to compound your ideas. You have a seed idea. Here it is. You have another idea, compounded by that idea. That idea informs another idea, which is another idea, which is another idea, which is another idea. And you're all the way up here. Now, this idea here, you couldn't have got that straight up. You had to work through it. Creativity is that process. Now, I think that's what we want. We want fulfillment in our day. We want the time, and we want to be able to use our minds to get here, rather than just here or a whole lot of these ones. Now, in terms of, getting you guys to think about your creative process, whatever it might be, I thought that it would be quite fitting to illustrate to you guys a creative process that I go through sometimes, which is directly on a drawing board. I don't actually preconceive anything. I don't have an idea. It's not like a brief where someone says, hey, please draw me a fish, and I come and I draw a fish. I don't have any idea when I'm doing this sometimes. This first demonstration I'm going to do, it's a process demo. We have this. I want to show you this drawing here. This is a drawing, and this is done with a pencil. And I just want to put it down here while I demonstrate to you guys how I got there. My tools are pretty simple. What I want you guys to think about while I'm doing this is that I'm trying to illustrate to you guys the process. I'm not trying to say, hey, look how great this drawing is. That's not what it's about. It's about what is the process for getting there. And this is an example of sitting down at the drawing board, really having no idea what I was going to do. So let me talk you through this. So I thought to myself, well, I haven't really got much to do today, so I'm going to sit here, no one's going to bother me, and I'm just going to draw something. So I thought, what if I sort of draw a big guy pulling a little guy out of a pile of bricks? Because maybe this big guy's a policeman or something and he's saving him. It's a very cliche sort of an idea. So I thought, here we go. He's pulling him out of a pile of bricks. Here's the bricks. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, they've got an eye line. They might look at each other and they might think, okay, you might be able to see something in their emotions. Anyway, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I don't know if you guys can tell, but that's supposed to be a big guy pulling a little guy out of a pile of bricks. In my head, I can totally see it, right? Okay? So here you've got the arms and bits and pieces. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, this is this other guy's legs. By the way, I'm doing this a lot faster than it would normally happen. Eyes are going to be somewhere around about here. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's not actually that interesting. Graphically, it's kind of dull. I think I'm going to pump up the contrast. All I'm doing is looking at this, thinking this. So I think, well, why don't I go, okay, we'll make this guy much bigger. I'm going to make this guy humongous. He's going to be, he's almost pushing the boundaries of actually being a man. Like so many of us men out there. So here I am. I'm going to sort of put a little bit of detail in for this guy. It's hard to work when your hands are shaking, I can tell you that. And I've got this. And I've got this guy's enormous hand over here, because he's huge now. Can you guys actually tell what that is? All right, good. Okay, so a couple of things. So I'm looking at it thinking, okay, well, this guy's massive now. Anyway, I think he's a bit dull. I love hats, so I'm going to put a hat on him. So I started to put a hat on him, and I thought, wow, that kind of looks... You know what I really love? I don't know if you guys love this, but I love that kelp in the sea, how it sort of swirls around, that seaweed stuff, and the frothy stuff goes frothing over it. So I thought this guy could have like a hat with a kelp wrap, because I thought he could be like a kelp Rastafarian guy. So here we go. But what that did is that spurred my mind into thinking, maybe this is a fishy sort of a theme, like an ocean theme. Maybe this guy's a fisherman, so let's make this guy a fisherman. And he's not getting pulled out of a pile of bricks. He's got his whole trawling fishnet thing, so this will be cooler. And I'm going to put some fishies in there as well. And this is me just thinking, I'm thinking on here, I'm going, oh yeah, what do I see? What do I see in this picture? What do I see here? Okay, so now I've got a sort of a theme, which is quite cool. So basically this guy here is fishing up this guy who's fishing these fishes. So you don't really hear about fishermen actually getting fished, but, it's quite interesting if that was to happen. So, and then I'm thinking, wow, this guy's massive. He's got to be a creature. So I'm going to put some creaturey bits on him. So in my mind, I'm going to put some fins and some stuff, I don't know, seaweedy bits hanging off. Maybe he could have some fangs, I don't know. But I'm thinking to myself, that's really bad. Like, he looks like some sort of man-made, like a mermaid, but a man, which is... I personally find that actually very disturbing. I don't like it. So I work with this thing, which is my little kneadable eraser, and I get rid of all that. And I think, oh, what was I thinking? I'm going to go and put my head in the toilet or something. Yeah, get rid of that. But what happens is after I start working on this guy a little bit more, I start finding him, and I start thinking, well, he looks to me like a big sort of a general. He looks like some sort of underworld military scary dude that comes up to police the fishing of the fish. And maybe this fisherman's just a greedy fisherman who needs to get the kibosh put on him or something. And, like it or not, as messy and as unrefined as that drawing is, that is to me the next stage before that. Because what happens... So to finish off the process, I just spent a whole lot of time doing that. So the hard stuff's been done, you just do that. And while you're doing that, you then think about your mythology and you know what to go on to next. Now, I just want to mention before I go on to my next thing, I'll take that down actually, it's not my best work. Before I go on to my next thing, I want you guys to know what I sort of feel like when I'm here with this pencil and this little kneadable eraser. It's entirely comfortable for me standing here with this pencil and this kneadable eraser. It smells good. I love doing this. Something that I've worked with for years. I've been drawing since I don't even know if I could stand. I don't know. Mum might be lying and exaggerating, but let's say that anyway, it sounds good. I think that what we should think about is how comfortable we are when we're trying to be creative. We shouldn't be learning a tool. We shouldn't be sitting at a software trying a new thing. We should be trying to do something that is higher than that. We should be really comfortable with what we're doing when we're trying to be creative. Ask yourself, who are you and what is it that makes you feel comfortable? And what do you really comfortable when you use stuff? What is the thing that makes you really comfortable? And when can you fly with your thought? That's what I call preparing your internal. So let's just go on to this one. This is another drawing. This is a large creature. And it doesn't look very friendly, to be honest. Now, having done that drawing there, I wanted to create a creature that general could then command. And this is a slightly different process because I knew what I wanted to feel when I looked at the drawing. So you might be designing or making or something, or mathematicizing something that you know what you want to feel when you get there, but you just don't know what it's going to look like because you haven't gone through the process. So what I thought to myself was the best thing I could do is sit there and figure something out. So I thought to myself, well, maybe this should be like a serpent, serpent, sea serpent, scary thing with gills, maybe eyes down here. Can you guys see that? So it's just the basis of something, and I'm thinking, it's just a bit average and just a bit cliche. It's gone. All right, don't be afraid to just destroy everything you've just done. But at least I know what I don't want to do. Okay, so that's gone. And then I think to myself, what if I did like a crocodile type thing? So I draw something that has sort of crocodilian sort of features. And it's its backbone there thing. And it's going, and it's looking cool. I'm much more relaxed, though, I have to tell you, when I'm doing it without 400 people looking at me. But I can say, that to me is like a crocodile, it's a couple of eyes there type of thing that's going boom out of the water, and I'm thinking, wow, that might be explosive. And I'm thinking, actually it's actually very ugly and I don't like it at all. So then I destroy it again. Now, this is something that I think people should not be afraid to do. Fail away, please, fail away. And then we go into the other thing, which I thought, what if I do a sweeping sort of a beak-faced little, sort of skinny-necked little thing with a big old body who's just crashing and smashing and looting out of the water like this, more of a traditional sort of a dragon-y sort of thing from the deep. And I looked at it, and then again I thought, look, I'm too cliche. I'm so cliche. I'm so yesterday. So I didn't give up. I continued on my quest because I knew what I wanted to see. Make it bigger. So the idea was, what I did is I started to play around with some shapes. And I thought to myself, these shapes, there's something about them that are bigger than everything else. There's something about these shapes where I can start to feel the type of creature that I want. It's incredibly fast trying to do it like this. I have to tell you, it took me days to do it. And I'm sort of starting to feel that energy that I want. And I think to myself, my pencil has got very light, so I have another one. And I work in the idea that big creatures have to have small eyes and small faces. So I start working on this type of thing. So I start to feel like this worm thing, that worm thing's really, really good. I love that worm thing. That's my thing. I want it. And then, of course, anyone else that looks at it goes, But I can see it because when I'm looking at that, I'm seeing that. And I know what it's going to be. And it basically fills my brief in my mind for the energy of what this thing is that I want to do. Essentially, we could leave that up there. Let's leave that up there. Maybe not. Maybe we'll put that up. Better? All right. So now I just want to quickly talk about, I talked about preparing your internal, and now I want to talk about your external. All right. Can I have a show of hands about who goes to the dentist regularly? Come on. Who goes regularly? Yeah, dentist? Yeah? Really? I don't want to see those teeth. Hey, keep them up, keep them up. Now put your hands down if you've ever answered your mobile device during the dentist. Yeah. Okay, put your hands down. What I was trying to illustrate to you guys is this. The dentist commands your respect. He says, hey, or she says, hey, I need to work. What are you doing? You say, oh, of course, yeah, fair enough. So you turn your mobile device off, you sit there and you get worked on. You don't do that for yourselves very often, I would imagine. You've got to shut down your external environment so that you don't get distracted so you can compound your thoughts. I'm not saying to you guys, hey, don't answer your emails, don't answer your messages. I'm just talking 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, What does it take? Your brain, invest in your brain. Lifelong partners, I do believe. So after I did this, I went home to my wife and she said, how was your day? Which was very nice of her, I thought. And I just ranted off because I was very excited about this guy, And I sort of thought to myself, I want that for my son. And I want that for my family, when they come home from work. I want that for my staff, and that's what I work towards at my office every day. How are they going to feel when they finish this day? I think that we should all want that for humanity, because that's where we get our ideas. That's where we use our brains. It's not all about tapping into everybody else's idea. We've got to do some great stuff, but we need to shut it down so we can think. And just imagine, you go home, someone says, how's your day? And you just fly off with this positive thing, how it's going to bounce off your flat, your family, and everyone around you, and how cool it's going to be. So I thank you very much, and that's it from me.